So everything looks all right. Then welcome everybody. Today we will be covering a Chessable course. It's called Short and Sweet Fischer Random Chess, and we have with us one of my favorite international masters. It is now again the pronunciation is coming, Balint Hijizi. Welcome, Balint. Hi.
Hello, Jan. Welcome. Thanks for invitation. And we have today some tasks to have a short view about Fischer Random Chess. And I like your pronounce. You're becoming better every time you're pronouncing my name. So okay,
Nice.
at the end. Okay, maybe I need to add some nickname that will be also interesting how you're pronouncing that. So every time must be something wrong.
Okay, we will try for the nickname then. What is your nickname?
Nickname? It's so easy. Probably Baki.
Baki?
Yeah. It's. I said that it is so easy. It's not interesting.
Okay, I try for Balint Nachijizi. Alrighty. Okay, so Balint, I'm going to introduce the course and then we will jump right into it. So why did I choose the course? Because it's super interesting to me. As you know, opening preparation is not my favorite kind of game, and so with Fischer Random there are 960 positions that might come up for a start, and basically there's no way to really prepare for that, so it's all made up on the spot. Yeah, so you take a look at the position and then just go. Balint and I, we will play a Blitz 960 game, a Fischer Random Chess, at the end of this stream. It will take about an hour. I mean, the stream will take about an hour, not the Blitz game, but this is going to be real interesting. I'm probably being destroyed, but I, as always, can only learn, and that is, of course, fine with me. Okay, so then...
Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely right. And you know, I'm a GM crusher by now.
So I need to be careful.
Yes.
Especially here without some tricky in openings.
We never know. We never know.
We never know.
Okay. So, as always, the introduction to the course. What is it about? Fischer Random gives you 960 ways to enjoy the game. It's, the short and sweet shows you how to play this creative chess variant. And it's a free course offered by Chessable, and the full course is called The Ascent, Wesley So's Fischer Random Strategies and Tactics. So this is an excerpt of the full course. Wesley So has been the first Fischer Random World Champion, like in 2020 or 2019, I think. And yeah, we have no text to read today, but we have 1 hour and 19 minutes of video to see and listen to one of my favorite grandmasters, Wesley So. I just like his personality, always really calm. And yeah, so he presents the key ideas you need to play this variant. And also castling rules simplified. Even Magnus Carlsen forgot how castling works, and he lost in 7 moves. Read chapter 1 to avoid this accident. So when I played 960 or Fischer Random or Freestyle chess, as it is called now, I always have trouble castling. I kind of know how it works, but I'm always happy if the pieces do what I want them to do. Okay, so then I read in the comments about this course that this is one of the highlights. He gives full commentary on Game 3 of the 2019 Fischer Random World Championship, step by step, and this should be the highlight of this course, so I'm really interested in that, of course. And Yeah, then we have an intro to tactics, your usual forks, pins, skewers with a touch of randomness. But I read this is basically a normal tactics lesson, but this is also fine. It's tactics, tactics, tactics. So you can never do enough tactics, of course.
Exactly.
Righty. So
tactics is important everywhere. So we'll have here some additional position and maybe slightly different from a standard chess, but anyway we can learn, and this becoming more and more popular. So in the future, who knows, this could be some new version of chess.
yes, true. Balint, I don't know if you follow this, but did you watch the freestyle chess games between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana before the World Championship?
I saw a little bit, but I didn't watch all of them. I just verify that they are playing, and that is kind of introduction in front of this world championship. So that is, I just noticed that nothing special. I didn't watch full games.
Yeah, it was like an exhibition match. To show off the, not show off is probably not the correct English, but to show that they have this freestyle world championship going on. It takes place in 5 cities in 2025 and will be really exciting, I think. So just Google Freestyle Chess Weissenhaus and you'll come to their website and see all about the tour. So it's really, really interesting, I think. Okay, then we just jump into the course. I click on Get for Free. Yes, start learning. Then I need to check on the second monitor if everything can be seen correctly. Yes, I think that's still good. So, there's still text to read. Okay, so I will read some text here before we really start. So it is, welcome to the first Fischer Random course. Before we dive into the action, I'd like to explain a few things about Fischer Random, also known as Chess 960. It's a variation of shuffle chess invented by Bobby Fischer, but with some rules to avoid positions that could just be very bad. These rules allow 960 possible starting positions. Setup. Each player must have a bishop on each color. Yes, understood. So white, black, and it's always the king's starting position must be between the rooks to allow castling on either side. With these rules in mind, the starting position of all pieces is randomized. Okay, and it is not that this is like a mirrored position, so the king always has to be on the same file, the queens have to be on the same file, the pieces have to be on the same files, so that it's kind of equal positions for both players. Okay, so castling, this is always interesting to me. Due to the king being between both rooks, castling kingside, short castling, or queenside, long castling, is possible. The important thing to remember is, regardless of the starting position, the castled king and rook end up on the same squares as they would in regular chess. So castling kingside leads to a king on g1 and rook on f1, like normal. And castling, castling queenside leads to a king on c1 and rook on d1. Alright, regular chess rules apply. For castling to be legal, the king and rook must not have moved, and you cannot castle in through or into check. In this position, seen in Nakamura versus Carlsen 218, both players started with one castling. Yeah, so basically here they just changed positions. I didn't know that you can do that. Very cool. Okay, so I'm of course curious. And I think we already have video. So there's the play button. I click on it and then we just see what happens. It's always exciting to start a new course on Chessable. Let's see.
Hi, I'm Grandmaster Wesley So, and this is my first video course for Chessable. Welcome. In this course, we'll be looking at some of my best games in Chess 960, and we'll be going through a journey of last year's World Fischer Random Chess Championship. World Fischer Random, or Chess 960, so called because there are 960 possible starting positions. This is my favorite form of chess, and I know many players who also love playing this form of chess. Bobby Fischer foresaw the day where chess, or normal starting position chess, would have too much theory and memorization that needs to be remembered by heart. So hopefully you'd learn a thing or two as well. Thank you.
Yes, I liked the video. There's more. Okay, so we'll see how that will go. Okay, so with that, we just have here a quiz, white to play. So I guess they want me to do the castling, so I know how this goes. Okay, so I just castle, I put it here, and it did what was needed to be done. Okay, so that worked. Okay, next variation. Now we are here, introduction. It is GM Wesley So versus Talento 10. How can black castle? Okay, so basically they are teaching how to castle here. And here the kingside castling is not allowed because we have pieces in between the king and the rook. But we should be able to castle queenside. And as we said, the king needs to be on the... Oh, I'm black. Sorry, it's the queen side here and the king side there. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so basically they need to end up on the same squares as they would normally do. So I just put the king on g8 and that should do the trick. And it did. All right. So nice. Continue. Okay, so is there a video about this?
That's very important rule about castling and how to make our king safe. And now we can see that this is kind of normal position, standard story. King's Indian with improved knight on e6, like some variation from chess.
Yeah, and I once read or heard that Garry Kasparov was so good in 960 because he always knew how to make the position go into a normal chess position in easy ways. For me, that's magic, but he did. Okay, let's see if there's a new video behind here. Let's see, I click again on play. No, it's the same one, I think. I never know.
Hi, I'm Grandmaster Wesley So.
Okay, so we don't have to watch that again. Then we just jump to the next variation. And yeah, okay. So here I believe this will be text. Yes, not text, but video. And I click on play and we should have a nice introduction. Chessable presents. Yes. Okay.
Okay, hello again, everyone. I'd like to show you this. This is the third game from my match with Magnus in the finals. We still use a time control of 45 minutes per player, plus an additional 15 minutes after move 40, with no increment. So at this point, I was leading by 1 game, and in the third game, the following position was drawn. It looks like at first to be a very peculiar position because the white king is far deep inside the queen side, and there are no less than 5 pieces blocking its way if he ever wants to castle king side to g1. So he has to move 5 pieces away from the back rank before he is able to castle. And the king feels a little bit vulnerable being so far away from the queen. It's true, all the squares in front of the white king is protected for the time being. However, he doesn't feel as safe as in other starting positions because the white queen is so far away. Other than that, the other pieces are pretty much in regular starting positions. The difference being with the bishops here in the center. So it's not clear exactly.
Barlind, can I ask you a question here? Barlind, hello?
Hello, Jan, of course. Yes,
Okay.
you can, of course.
Okay, my question here is, I understand how to castle kingside. I need to move the 5 pieces out of the way, the 4 pieces and the queen out of the way. And then I just put the king to g1 and the castling will be done in a normal way. But how can I castle queenside here? I mean, the king is on b1, and to be able to castle queenside, I need to put the king on d1.
C1.
C1, correct, yes. So, would that work here? Or would it be just a move to the c1 square without castling? Because to be able to castle, I would have to, well, more or less put the king to the left side of the rook.
Exactly. So if you want to make a castle on the queen side, you should develop your bishop and knight.
Yes, to get them out of the way. Yes, and then I just move a rook to the left side, or put I just because there is a difference. Is it a normal king move to put the king on c1? Or do I have to put the king to the left side of the rook to do the castling?
So basically in that introductions we had that story every time happens the standard castles. So I think that is the rule, the ultimate rule about castling. But please give me a chance to be in wrong if something. We'll see what is going on here, what was about this game. I know the rule, just about the rule. You don't you don't you must have a free space to make a castle between the king and the rook, and as I knew, the previous rule was also do not move them before you are making a castle. So
yes.
Like in standard chess, and now I saw that must end up in the regular castles as we know in standard variation of chess game.
Okay, then I will try that in a game against you if we get the position here. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah, you have a lot of chances to get in this position.
No. I know.
1 to million.
Yes. Alrighty. So then we continue with what Wesley So is telling us. Play.
Which direction they should go. But let's get to the game. So here, I played the move e2, e4, which in my view is the best move in the position. And I'll talk about this in the next game as well when I had black. But in my view, e4 is the best move to fight for an advantage. And the explanation being is that e4 is the best move lies in the placement of the bishops. E4 activates 2 diagonal pieces with one move. It activates the bishop, then activates the queen. They're both functioning well now. And white gets the e2 square available for further use also.
As we can see,
or for the knight.
I think the one unique plus in all different variation of chess is to control the center.
Hmm. Yeah, I know that I sometimes neglect it here because I think it is so special to get, well, a B pawn or a G pawn well, out, but that doesn't help me in the center. Looked good first, but then later in the game not. Okay, so always center
Maybe
control.
Seems attractive to start with a king side attack, but at the side who has control into the center, that has a bigger that have a bigger chance for later in longer fight to win, because more space control and more chances to make some rotations. That is probably the reason why we need to keep control over the center with the pawns, two side possibilities, multiple more space, and yeah.
Okay, so
e4.
Yeah, basically same rules as for regular chess.
Basically same rules for regular chess, and seems like that is something, of course, universal for all variation. Keep that center alive, more space, and more chances to regroup pieces on specific weakness. Okay. Yeah.
So I really like the move e4. Next move, white can play f4. The advantage being that the f pawn is protected by the queen. So in my view, e4 is the most ambitious move. But I'll also take a look at other moves as well. The other logical move here is the move d4. Obviously, white threatens to play e4 next move. And if white's opponent doesn't do anything, white will play e4 or knight d3, firmly controlling the dark squares in the center. But the reason I didn't play d4, and also why none of the other players played this move, is I think after d5, black gets a very solid, stable position also. So after d4, d5, knight d3, knight d6, or the move e6, developing pieces, but knight d6, knight f3, and e6. I think here both sides have a very solid position, but it's not so simple for white to fight for an advantage or anything concrete. The queen on f1 is badly placed, and white doesn't have any pawn breaks anymore. So I believe none of the players played d4 in the first move. White can also play f4, and this is fine also. This looks like a bird's opening. The queen on f1 is protecting the pawn on f4. But after f4, black will probably play d5, controlling the e4 square. The only negative thing about playing f4 is there is some slight discomfort about the development of white's bishop on d1.
So as you can see, every time the same story. Fight for the center. That structure of the weird opening, Dutch defense, England opening with c4, c5 or c4, e5, that reverse story, or e4, c5 Sicilian, or d4, f5, Dutch defense. Basically everything is connected with that central pawn. So if you will not enter into the center, just control one of these central squares, and that as we can see there, that is the kind of core for universal chess variation. Who will be better? Probably that side who controls the center.
Yeah, I tend to neglect that in 960 games for sure, absolutely 100%. And for me, it's also tough to, of course, choose the first move especially when you are playing online and the clock ticks down. You have like 20 seconds to make your first move. Yeah, and then I usually check at my opponent's pawns, is everything protected or can I attack something? And then I just go straight for the attack instead of thinking about the general game and that it's going on for longer than 5 or 6 moves.
Yeah.
Okay, so need to take note. Center control also a 960 or Fischer Random or Freestyle Chess. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, here it's not so easy to put this bishop into a good place. And after following moves knight f3, e6, d3, and c5, we have a very complex game. And both sides have chances. And the other possible move here is the move after c4, e5. Black controls the d4 square and controls the dark square, and the knight on c1 doesn't have an ideal place to go. I mean, sure, it can go to knight to b3 and play knight b3, but here in this position with the knight on b3, black always has the possibility to play a5, threatening a4, kicking away the white knight. And if white plays a move like e3, black has many possibilities here. He can play knight g7 with the idea to play d5 next move. Black can also play f6, threatening to give a check here on g6.
So
just
basically, we
slightly
can see
the white king.
different type of pawn structures to have control into the center, and basically very important. In my opinion, I don't have so much experience about 960 chess, but basically we can take some geometrical stuffs and ways how to develop our pieces. So do not put the knight in some wrong bad situation where he cannot jump forward or take some aggressive step. The pawns are the most important facts, the pawns into the center. So especially here the opening could be decisive, and some bigger plans and bigger maneuvers and motives you must see and recognize that potential at the beginning. And of course, in harmony with that, you will develop your pieces exactly in that direction. As we can see here, g7, f6, e5 directly close the dark square bishop. Also very effective works against knight on g1, f3, and what next, e2, and what next. So the pawn structure is important to give more space and more more ideas to cooperate for other pieces. At the beginning, this is a fundamental pawn structure into the center. I'm sorry to interrupt this.
No, it's always good, and I really like this a lot that you're explaining this, because Wesley So is, of course, telling what he thinks about the game, but on a level that is, for me, I think a little too high. But with your explanations, it makes more sense, and so it's all good. Thank you, Balint.
You're welcome, Jan.
You don't want your king to get vulnerable so early the stage of the game. So I played the move e4. I like this move. I think this is the best move, and this was also Fabiano's choice and Ian Nepomniachtchi's choice. So e4. Magnus played e6. It's a little bit unexpected. I was expecting him to play the move e5. Although black has many different moves here. I can play e5. He can play knight f6, can play c5, or he can play d6. But e5 is what I mostly expected. And moves like this always has to be taken into account because black maintains symmetry. He controls his fair share of space on the center. And black prepares to develop also. Activates the bishop, activates the queen. Here, though, I was going to play f4, which looks like a king's gambit, except it's not really a gambit in this case, because the white queen is defending the pawn on f4. So after e takes f4, queen takes f4, white's position seems to be a little bit more harmonious, in my view. And the queen is very active here on f4. And white has no decent way to take advantage of, black has no decent way to harass my queen at this point. But Magnus played the move e6, going for a French defense pawn structure. So I quickly played d4. If your opponent gives you the chance to occupy the center with pawns.
Balint, I have another question here. The question is not related to 960, but in general. I always smile if someone explains a game and mentions all these different openings. As you know, I am playing strictly the openings that ChatGPT chose for me. So my question is here, I really like to stay with these openings and, well, at least until I figure them out how they really work. Yeah, and now I'm still in the beginning stages. So no wonder that I make mistakes here, make mistakes there, but every time I learn. So, and only after I kind of have the feeling that I mastered them, I'd like to change to other openings. So what would your approach be here? Like just jump around, play this opening with 3 moves that you know and then the next one, or just thoroughly, deeply understand one opening and then move to the next?
Yeah, no, good question, and that is, eternal mystery. Who knows? As we saw yesterday, we didn't mention that we have a match for the world title between Gukesh Yangan and Ding Liren, world champion, present world champion, and after today, second round, it's 1.5 half for Ding, for the champion, surprising win yesterday with the black pieces, and you actually stop in the right moment just to have a second move d5, and we are in the French defense. They play French defense. Ding surprise Gukesh with French defense. About your question, do you need to stay with your openings or to swap them often? I don't know. At the beginning, you need to play what you like, and also if you watch that on some long-term ideas, or basically a very interesting fact. I know multiple players who decide to play, for example, French defense at the age of 12 or 30, and that's it. They are playing 40 years just French defense, or King's Indian, or Dutch defense. That is unique, and I don't know, is that correct? Now we can see in this modern era, with all these AIs and computers and some programs, basically some openings had priorities in front of some others. Maybe your Scandinavian or your Dutch defense or something you can use like surprise to do something I don't know, different. But basically we can see one of the most concrete move against e4 is e5, as we saw today in the second game. So probably e4, e5 we'll see multiple times during this match, because that gives probably the most chaotic and most equal position for black. I'm saying chaotic because who knows what you can choose as black, multiple ideas like Berlin, like standard Spanish opening, some Italian, some Russian opening. Everything leads in some equal stories, and that is the most solid and long term choice. If you want to surprise your opponent, probably Sicilians are the most direct. So and everything you need to know, you need to know Dutch to explore, a longer period. But fundamentally, if you want to be better and better and every day better, I think you should pick some the most stable openings. That is problem for everyone. Everyone likes that tricky stories, some active mode positions. Of course, we are choosing that because we don't like to play some boring equal position. At the end, that is the way how we can win in that chess war. So, foot by foot and struggle with every step we are doing. So some positional correctly openings, like England opening for white, or some Catalan, or when you start with e4 you are opening the year, the new world for black, and he can pick Caro-Kann, French defense, Sicilian, or that e5, the most stable move according to computers, to knowledge. For example, look at the last 20 years or about world champion title. Probably 90% of games after e4 was e5, obviously telling us that is the most stable move for black. I'm trying to pick something else, but in every other story you are giving a space and center. Okay. So it's questionable. Anyway, yeah. We go very deep. I go really deep about explanation. Yeah. So let's go back on the course.
Okay, thank you.
Or pieces, then why not, right? Makes sense to grab it. Instead of d4, also possible was f4, controlling the dark squares, and then after d5 to push e5, gaining space. I'm sure white has other possible moves here also, but this makes sense. After c5, white plays knight f3, and later on bishop f2, just controlling the dark squares and controlling the center, controlling this very important square on d4. So white has some space advantage on the king side. I played d4, Magnus played d5, aiming for the French defense, and I quickly played the e5 here, gaining space, deciding to go for the French advanced pawn structure. Because compared to the French defense, here my knight is on c1, and I cannot defend e4 with a knight. It takes 2 moves for my knight to get to c3. So I played the move e5. Here Magnus played c5, which really surprised me. It's the most natural move, but in this position, in fact, even though it looks logical, it's already an error.
French defense.
Black has better ways to play. I would prefer the move here, knight b6, or amongst others. The idea of knight b6 is to control the squares c4 and a4, control the light squares here, developing the knight also. and it brings black one step closer towards castling and safeguarding his king, right? So knight b6 makes.
Sorry, Balint, or in chat, do you know how long the game was here? I mean, it's a game out of the World Championship, I believe. And was that classical time or just a rapid?
I'm sorry, Anne, are you speaking about this game?
Yes, correct.
I don't know. I don't know.
And he didn't say, but that would be interesting for me, of course. Okay. Then we continue.
Sense here.
7 moves, I think he
Controlling some
mentioned that, but
space
he's explaining
Develop,
some
just
variation,
developing the
right?
pieces.
Yes.
Knight g7 also makes sense to bring the knight closer to activity. But I was expecting actually the move f7, f6 here on move 3. Fighting for control over the e5 square. So this makes sense actually. f6. Black's bishop on e8 can be activated through g6, controlling some squares. So this would have been better for black to play. I was going to play knight f3, knight g7, and then knight d3 or queen e2, with the idea to develop the pieces. But both sides have their play here. White's probably just a very little bit better. At Magnus played c5, I think this was a mistake. So I took on c5 right away, making use of the fact that black cannot take on c5 with his bishop. Compared to a normal French defense, here there are some differences that make black's life uncomfortable. First of all, in the French defense, the bishop is on f8, so black could take on c5 with the bishop instead of the queen. But here black doesn't have that option. Secondly, his knight is on c8, so the normal square for the knight on the French is on c6, from which it would control the squares d4 and attack e5. But here, it takes black much longer to get there. Has to play knight e7 first, and then knight c6. Meanwhile, white's knight is on c1 instead of b1. So after queen takes c5, my knight could jump right away to d3 or b3. I played knight b3, attacking his queen and gaining valuable development time. So this is the difference. Black now.
Balint, I don't know if you noticed, but he said gaining valuable development time. So that reminds me of my classical game. So first I said I will never take that pawn again, and development, and nothing else. So that's my strategy for next times.
Yeah, it is hard every time we have some traps, take that small skirmish, and our greediness lead us. Why not to take? If you have a chances, but at the end, we cannot see immediately what is wrong with that. So just keep working with development, and you cannot miss direction. You will end up on good road.
Yes. Alrighty.
Has to spend 1 or 2 moves moving his queen to put it on a safe square. So in the game after queen c7, f4, white already just keeps developing his pieces, gaining some squares on f4 and e5, and the knight controls a d4 square. So here, I was already quite pleased with my position. I believe white has a strategic advantage, and there's not much risk in my opening choice. But let's look at the game. Magnus played knight b6, keeping an eye on c4 and a4, and threatening to play knight c4 next move, activating the knight. I played the move bishop e2, keeping an eye on knight c4 jumps. There was also nothing wrong with knight f3. And if knight c4, just don't play the move bishop e2. Because if bishop e2, there's knight e3. Threatening the queen on f1. And also threatening checkmate. So
I saw that.
Good. But I played the move bishop e2. So Magnus played knight e7 here, developing the rest of his kingside pieces. This knight wants to come to f5, while the other knight wants to come to c4. So black is trying to create some counterplay, but white's control over the dark squares and on the center, especially the d4 square after knight f3, is just too dominant and controls all black's counterplay. He played knight c4, and I played bishop d3. But knight bd4 is equally strong. Yeah. But I played bishop d3, just making sure to keep this pawn on c2 well defended. Black was threatening to win material by playing knight e3, attacking the queen and threatening checkmate also. So that's why I played bishop d3, protecting c2, keeping an eye on f5. If he plays knight f5, I can chop that off anytime. So black played knight c8. Magnus hopes to attack this crucial pawn here on b2 by activating his other knight. So his knight is gonna do some acrobatics in the next few moves. He wants to play knight b6 and knight a4, attacking this crucial pawn here on b2. But white has a lot of time, and white can meet the threat on this pawn well in advance. Yeah, here white has a lot of good moves actually. Knight bd4 is possible with the idea to play b3 and
Balint, I have another question. So basically, after a few moves are made, to me it seems like it's normal tactics, isn't it? Just in an unregular situation.
Yeah, it's of course normal tactic because the rules are the same, right? But it's maybe some strange positions. So yeah,
okay.
If you want, we can check that next time, and maybe we can play one game to see who is better for chess 960. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice. So we just stop here for today, and it was a very nice introduction for me to understand the rules, to get basic, well, not openings, but understand chess, the center control also in 960, and castling rules, of course. So yeah, I'm sure we are continuing this course next week. And we are going to play one round of chess 960, like 3-0, or is it too fast?
It's probably that is too fast. Maybe you can add a little more time. I don't know. Maybe 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3. Maybe.
Okay, 5 plus 3. Okay, so then I'm going to go to Lee Chess. Lee Chess here. And then I'm going to go to see friends online, and it is I am Big Lindbar, and I'd like to challenge you. And the variant is called Chess 960. The time control is real time with 5+3, you said.
Just to have a short amount of time to see what to do at the beginning.
Yeah, that's fine. And it's rated, and I don't care if it's white or black, so that's totally fine, of course. Okay, so before we start, then I need to set up the screen so everything is perfectly fine to see. And the challenge is out, Barlind. I'm playing an international master. It's great. Okay, so cool. This is fine, I guess, and I can make it a little larger, so it's better to be seen on screen. That's why I'm looking to the side to my second monitor. Yes, that is fine. Alrighty. So, Barlind, you are white and we are good to go. I don't wish you best of luck, but I wish us a great game. And let's see how many moves I can survive.
You can survive. I don't think you will be beaten very fast. Good luck.
To you too. Okay, for now I'm just checking my pawns if everything is protected. I see it's not here, so castling takes that many pieces to get out of the way. And here, okay, so that is good. Here it's good, okay. So this would make my king vulnerable if I go to e5. Here, center control, yes, no. So, why not? I need to start. And I start with this one. Okay. Barlind, you have to move.
Thinking what next.
Okay.
Some this.
Okay. So. My time management is super good.
One very important stuff.
I have everything perfectly under control. Why not? Let's go. I would love to pin the queen, but it's not possible. So, but I can threaten it. Never move a piece twice in the opening. I already did twice, I think. Both bishops had 2 moves. Is it okay if I talk, Balint, or is it dead silence?
Okay, of course we are. We are sharing some thoughts. We are on the unusual territory both, so do not worry.
Mm-hmm.
I need to develop my center.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I think it's my turn to castle. It is kingside castling. And I just put my king on b8. No, it is queenside castling. I always forget that. I'm black. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that changes everything. Okay, so, but still, anyway, I do that. Yes. See, it didn't work. I put my king on c8, but it didn't work. I thought it would move the rook.
That is the I made the castle with putting him on the directly on the rook.
Okay, I thought I just put it on.
We cannot go back.
No, it's fine. No worries. I learn it next time then.
So somehow like a switch, like a physical switch. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just click on the rook. He made the castle.
Okay.
Perfect. What was this? You tricky man. You sure this works?
No.
Or you just bluffing me?
I don't tell you.
Okay, then I will take like this. still pawn structure means a lot.
Which pawn structure, if you take a look at my side?
Yeah.
Mm.
This one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at my bishop. He's so ugly on g1.
Yes.
I'm planning to develop him later. Presents.
Dreams are my reality. Yeah, I was sleeping, didn't see that. Okay, then I play my normal strategy here.
Normal strategy.
I tell you after the game.
Okay.
It's a secret.
Okay.
Okay, now I tell you about my strategy. I learned that I cannot blitz down or play down an international master with a 3-second increment. It doesn't work.
In this position. Yeah,
Yes.
you blunder the rook, you blunder the pawn. So
Yeah.
another conclusion: blunders are not good neither for chess 960.
Yeah, we didn't cover that yet, so okay.
Try to avoid that.
Balin, congratulations, you did really well. Okay, thank you.
It was nice.
Okay.
So yeah, we can continue with the second part and with some tactics next time, right?
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
Also,
Sure.
I didn't ask you who is your favorite for the world title. Are you satisfied with these results for now?
Yeah, that is a good introduction to my next stream. So when we will say goodbye, I will shut down this stream and open up another stream because there is a free course by Chessable also. It's covered by International Master Andreas Todt. And he is giving a video recap of the game and then gives us positions to solve from that World Championship game. So like 3 or so. So it shouldn't take very long, but I will try to follow the World Champions like really deeply. Usually I just know, well, there's a World Championship chip going on, and then I watch some, but I never really think like what's happening in the games, and I don't really follow that deep. And here my promise to myself is I will try to cover the World Championship for myself by following that course by Chessable. And my favorite is Ding, I have to say, and it is because I have a wonderful thought, and that is, I think he played so bad all year long because it was his strategy to make Gukesh feel really like I'm going to win this anyway because Ding is so bad, and now he just strikes one game after the other. So the first game to me was great to see, and I loved that Ding was winning, and fingers are really crossed that he will win the World Championship. Ding is young enough, he has time. I mean, not Ding, Gukesh is young enough. So lots of time. We, of course, never know if it's a one-time chance, but I also like Gukesh, but I like Ding a little more, his personality, and just that it was so bad the whole year for him that I really wish him to have a nice ending. Yes. And yours?
I'm not defined yet about my favorite. Last time my favorite was Nepomniachtchi at the beginning, but later I just cheers for Ding, and I was happy at the end. He won that, and I think he deserved that. He fought so well, and he's so passionate. I don't know. Maybe I can also share the opinion with you. Gukesh is still young and he'll have some chances, but we'll see. I think the best for chess is to better player win, and to
Yeah.
not big deal for me. If someone beats, it's okay. I just respect that game, and it's not important who's win. I just want to show some very very big knowledge or some creative way to push forward that game.
And Balin, did you notice, or did you know this before? During commentary today, they said that Gukesh, before he became Grandmaster, was solely only playing Reti opening with white. I didn't know that, and only after becoming Grandmaster he started to play also e4, I think. So that of course gave me confidence for my opening choices. So
maybe maybe like that. But try to play how to say casual openings, not some. I don't know. You can see the Scandinavian is not on the. For example, Magnus Carlsen repertoire or some other guys in a regular game. Reti is, right, or some Catalan opening. Maybe that is also pick wisely and then dig deeper into the secret of that position.
Alrighty.
Who knows? You'll see, yeah.
Yeah. So, Balint, it will be nice to follow up on that, of course, and also thank you for today's commentary and help for the 960 stuff. And I'm really interested in exploring it and finding out what it really is about and what to take care of and what not. So with that, I wish you a very good night, and of course see you later as always.
Yeah, see you later. Bye bye, ciao.
Bye bye.